It's a little crazy to think that I'm already covering a new Monkey Island game, but it's an exciting proposition to be sure. In this video, we're going to delve deeper into the latest game, exploring its place in the canon, as well as some behind the scenes drama that have already started to cause waves. If you haven't caught up with the news, The Legend of Monkey Island is a fresh narrative set in the expansive Sea of Thieves universe. The creators of Sea of Thieves have licensed Monkey Island and its motley crew of characters, aiming to bring new life into this classic series with a 3D action-adventure interpretation. A noteworthy point is that this is not your old man's Monkey Island game, although there's been significant effort put into developing a system that pays homage to the much-loved point-and-click mechanics of previous installments. The game will drop into the Sea of Thieves as a complimentary update delivered through 3 tall tales, which can be thought of as an episodic adventure tucked within the main game. Starting July 20th, the first episode is slated for release, with remaining episodes coming in the months that follow. Now, the million-dollar question on everyone's mind is about the canonicity of this story, and it seems that this will indeed be a canon story within the wider Monkey Island lore and universe. Mike Chapman, the creative director of Sea of Thieves, took to Twitter to shed some light on this topic, stating, "Canonically, we're set after the 3rd game, but we're pulling on the themes and settings of the 1st game." So what does this mean? Following The Curse of Monkey Island, which is the 3rd game in the franchise, Guybrush and Elaine head out on the high seas on their honeymoon. As confirmed in the Monkey Island Easter egg included as part of the Sea of Thieves collaboration with Pirates of the Caribbean, their honeymoon actually does take place on the Sea of Thieves, and these new tall tales are delivering on that promise. As for the references to the 1st game, it's evident that the themes and settings are brought to life, including a fully 3D interpretation of the circus on Melee Island, but it's something that the voodoo lady says that really piqued my interest.
LeChuck has turned the memories of this island into a prison for Guybrush.
This suggests that LeChuck has sought revenge on Guybrush following his marriage to Elaine and is tormenting him with a devious voodoo curse. It's also noteworthy that Elaine is absent from the trailer, but her presence in the Tall Tales has been confirmed. Mike Chapman also confirmed that the core theme of this game is, what if Guybrush got everything he ever wanted? And it seems to be taking that classic turn of events, you know, the one where what he desires turns out not to be quite as splendid as he might have imagined. The short trailer has revealed a number of returning characters, including Guybrush,
you no autographs.
LeChuck,
Well, what do we have here?
Murray,
Rogues and scoundrels.
the Voodoo Lady,
Very different from the Sea of Thieves, you know.
the Pirate Leaders,
Glorious tavern on Melee Island.
surprisingly the Fettuccine Brothers, and of course everyone's favourite used boat salesman, the ever crafty Stan S. Stanman, who's back on Melee following his life insurance scam on Blood Island. Interestingly to note with Stan, the devs have taken care to replicate his jacket, which hopefully shows that this collaboration has been created with love and care. With over 30 million players, Sea of Thieves provides Monkey Island with a golden opportunity to reach a vastly larger audience. The developers at Rare, who are behind Sea of Thieves, have openly expressed their admiration for the original Monkey Island games, which comes as no surprise if you're a game developer of a certain vintage. The Sea of Thieves team has hinted that these tall tales won't follow the action-oriented formula of the A Pirate's Life tall tales that came before. Instead, they've designed the gameplay around the classic point-and-click system that Monkey Island is known for, adapting it to mesh with the first person's perspective of Sea of Thieves. So expect plenty of enigmatic puzzles, engaging dialogue trees, and the time-honored tradition of inventory slamming. There will also probably be action-packed element, perhaps even a new rendition of insult sword fighting, which may incorporate some actual sword fighting, which would be a pretty awesome prospect if they can pull it off. Now, over on the Xbox website, it's confirmed that both Melee Island and Monkey Island will be fully explorable, although how many locations on each island is yet to be announced. From the trailer, we get a good look at the giant monkey head on Monkey Island, as well as locations such as the circus, Lower Melee Town, the Governor's Mansion, the Scum Bar, and Stan's Shipyard. The recreation of Melee Island already appears more faithful than the rendition featured in Escape from Monkey Island, so this prospect of navigating a fully 3D interpretation of these environments is incredibly tantalizing. What's even more thrilling is that the entire original voice cast seems to be back for another round. Well, I say original, unfortunately, we don't have Earl Bowen, but but in The Legend of Monkey Island, Dominic Armato does return to voice the lovable anti-hero Guybrush Threepwood, who seems to have taken on the mantle of Governor. While he's the only cast member to have confirmed his reprisal so far, it appears the entire Return to Monkey Island voice cast has been enlisted. It's clear that Danny Delk is voicing Murray, with Jess Harnell as LeChuck, Gavin Hammond as Stan, and Leilani Jones-Wilmore as the Voodoo Lady. If you've heard about the new game, you might be wondering if original creator Ron Gilbert was involved in any way, considering the development of The Legend of Monkey Island and Return to Monkey Island must have overlapped considerably. There was a golden opportunity for collaboration, right? Plus, with the same voice cast, it would seem logical for everyone to be on the same page, right? Well, it turns out that things didn't exactly unfold that way. Ron Gilbert took to his Mastodon account to respond to fans inquiring about his involvement. Nope, it was all done without my knowledge or input. Nope, wasn't even told about it. Happened behind my back. They did this completely behind my back. None. Totally done behind my back. Uh-oh. This looks like trouble. It's probably worth pointing out that Ron, despite being the original creator of Monkey Island, does not actually own the IP. It's owned by Lucasfilm and therefore Disney. There is no obligation to tell him anything, although it does seem a little strange considering 2 Monkey Island games were being created in tandem after 12 years of dormancy. But perhaps that's just the inner workings of big corporations, soulless entities that don't really care about anything or anyone, probably smothering anyone who wished to discuss the matter with Ron under a heap of non-disclosure agreements. Now, I think it's worth noting that Ron has quite a blunt way of speaking on social media, quite matter-of-factly, and there's every possibility that his tweets, or mastos, I guess, were not meant to be as cutting as they come across. Behind my back is a very cutting phrase, but it's also a very literal phrase, and he went on to post this the next day. Just to clarify, the Sea of Thieves thing, since some press are making assumptions, I was given a heads up before the announcement, but wasn't given an opportunity to be meaningfully involved. I do wish the game well. I love Monkey Island. Again, something gets kind of lost in the starkness of the message. It reads like damage control, as if Lucasfilm has intervened with a hey, quit it. You love Monkey Island. But it could just be the bare facts of the situation. He was informed before the announcement, is disappointed he couldn't be meaningfully involved, and despite some die-hard fans' best efforts, he may still hold Monkey Island dear to his heart. I know I do. Terrible Toy Box, which is his company that actually developed Return to Monkey Island, also sent a quote to Eurogamer. Disney did give him a heads up on the project as a courtesy, but the game was well into development at that point and he wasn't given the opportunity to be meaningfully involved. Gilbert cares deeply about Monkey Island and wishes the team at Rare well with the project, which is just a very PR way of rewriting Ron's original statement on Mastodon. And as a fan of Monkey Island and of Ron Gilbert's, it's disheartening to see that this collaboration opportunity was missed. But Monkey Island storytelling has always been shaped by different people and teams. It's one of the first video games many people played, and having the chance to work on a version of it is a dream come true for many developers. I choose to focus on the positives. We're getting a radically different version of Monkey Island, created by fans, for fans, using Sea of Thieves as a foundation. And by the way, Sea of Thieves is a lot of fun. If you're apprehensive about diving into this because it's set within a massive multiplayer sandbox, rest assured. While that is true, it is also a game you can play solo. I know because I've done it. What's more, the Tall Tales and The Legend of Monkey Island are designed to be separate from the multiplayer aspect of the game. They're aimed as single player experiences. So don't fret. Jump in and enjoy some thrilling pirate adventures. I'll be releasing more videos about Sea of Thieves and Monkey Island collaboration in the weeks to come, including a primer on Sea of Thieves for Monkey Island fans to help them acclimatize to the game. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you could, also hit the like button and leave a comment below. It would send positive signals to the algorithm and help me reach a wider audience.